for December 5th, 2024. I will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That threw me off. Okay, roll call, please.
David Drake,
Here.
Dan Crawford,
Here.
Steve Hale,
Here.
Zach Michael,
Here.
Samuel Samples. Here. Ryan Skaggs.
Here.
Pat Wesolowski,
Here.
Darla Brown. Here.
Okay, the first item on our agenda is approval of the minutes for the November 7th meeting. Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Did you get that motion, that second? Okay, next item is approval of the 2025 meeting dates.
Got some mics that are off for the president's microphone.
The president.
Your mic's off, David.
Mic's off.
I threw you off, didn't
Does everybody have their mics on?
I? Yes.
Except David's and us.
Well, it was green at one point.
Oh.
You must have hit it with something. Okay,
So for the meeting dates, you'll notice some of them are not on the first Thursday, January. We would just be coming back from a holiday. And July 4th changed to July 10th. And those are my only two changes, unless you guys would want to change a date or something. But otherwise, it's the first Thursday of every month.
okay. Somebody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve dates for 25.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Does anyone have a conflict of interest statement for this evening? Seeing none. No old business. New business. Town Council ordinance amending the Unified Development Ordinance to allow for exempt signs to be exempt from all sign standards and to allow for and regulate pole signs.
So you will recall at the last Plan Commission meeting, the Plan Commission made a suggestion with regard to changes to the Unified Development Ordinance to allow for exempt signs to be exempt from all requirements, including the permit requirement, and also to allow for and regulate pole signs. And so that particular matter was certified with a positive recommendation, and it went to the town council. At its last meeting, the town council voted to pass the ordinance with the understanding that table 4.13 would be changed slightly. And so you will recall that in table 4.13, we had added some regulations for pole signs, and the way it was passed by the Plan Commission at the bottom of table 4.13 in the right-hand side, it states that pole signs shall be supported by not more than 2 supporting structures below the sign face, each of which shall be not more than 12 inches in width or depth. And I think the council thought that the 12 inches in width or depth was confusing, so they voted to pass it so that it reads, shall not be more than 12 inches by 12 inches. So it's back to you now for your consideration.
So since it changed, is this considered a first reading again?
No.
Okay.
If you accept it, we're done, and it will be considered passed as of the last town council meeting.
Okay.
If you decide you do not want to accept the council's change, it can only be affirmed by council reaffirming their vote to pass it with that change. But that was the only change they had to the ordinance, proposed ordinance.
Question. If I have a business and I want to put a sign up, do I have to come to the planning department all the time? Because it says on this, up here, it says a sign permit is required unless otherwise specified. Why would it be not, why would you have to come back, I guess?
Well, it depends on the sign, because there were some signs, you remember, that were exempt. So if your sign's not exempt, you're gonna have to get a permit.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll motion. What are we motioning to accept?
To accept council's proposed change to table 4.13 with regard to pole signs.
I'll make that exact motion.
I'll second.
Second.
Pick whoever you want. Okay, roll call, please.
David Drake,
Yes?
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Steve Hale,
Yes.
Zach Michael,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
Ryan Skaggs,
Yes.
Pat Wesolowski.
Yes.
Okay. Next item on our agenda is an ordinance to establish methods for controlling the introduction of pollutants into the municipal separate storm sewer system to comply with the requirements of the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit process.
Okay, so when the Unified Development Ordinance was passed, the Plan Commission and the council decided to withhold or hold in abeyance the repeal of certain sections under the Ellettsville Town Code. And one of those sections that was held in abeyance and was not repealed was the Stormwater Control Ordinance. And the folks that were helping us, Sean Dade and the other individuals, suggested that the stormwater control ordinance be put in a standards manual, or that's at least what I thought I heard them say. But in any event, we have to pass a stormwater ordinance, a stormwater control ordinance. And Rick Kopic, engineer for the town, has been working with Wessler Engineering to come up with a stormwater ordinance. And unfortunately, the town is already late. The Wessler Engineering got an extension with IDEM, but we have to get this passed as soon as possible. And so what you have in front of you, or what was circulated on Tuesday, I believe, was the most recent draft of the Stormwater Management Construction Site Regulations, which will probably go into Chapter 152 of the Ellettsville Town Code. And so your UDO states on page 125 that all development standards, all development is subject to state and local drainage regulations, approval, and permits. Then under Section B, it states all drainage and stormwater facilities, infrastructure, and easements shall comply with the stormwater ordinance and the town's design standards. This includes all storm drains. So the 152, the proposed ordinance is that language that Denise, your planning director, will refer developers to when they come before her with a petition for a project. And your current code section, 152, is much shorter. There's only 6 sections under 152, stormwater control, and I think there's 8 sections under stormwater runoff. So this revised chapter 152 is much more expansive. And as I understand Mr. Kopic, as he explained it to me, basically what's in here is what the state requires. Because at one time, IDEM had authority over stormwater quality, and now that authority is being shifted to municipal stormwater operators, or MS4s, and the town is an MS4, has an MS4 operator. So in order for the town to enforce the stormwater ordinance, the council needs to pass this stormwater ordinance. So that is one part. And then another part that Denise provided to you is also a standards manual, which is the nuts and bolts everyday, how do we do this? How do the developers comply with the code? And then there's yet another section that is not within the purview of the Plan Commission, but Wessler Engineering and Rick Kopic also worked on Chapter 53, which is under the Public Works Code, and that's the illicit discharge in connection to the stormwater drainage system. So that's a totally separate ordinance that I wanted you to be aware of, but that's not something that's coming before you this evening, and it won't come before you. That's strictly a town council purview. So I would appreciate it if you would vote to approve the Stormwater Control Ordinance, Chapter 152, and then I can get that incorporated into the town code for presentation to the council.
So do I have to first move that the ordinance be submitted for first reading?
No,
Okay.
nope.
Does anybody have any questions for Darla or Denise? Okay, so I move that the stormwater management ordinance to be included in chapter 152 of the town code be adopted on the same day at which it is introduced.
Second.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. You can just move to pass it to council with a positive recommendation.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Someone put that up there, so
Oh,
I thought we had to do
yeah,
this.
sorry about that.
Nope, sorry. Nope,
Okay.
that's the council level.
Okay, well, then I'm just going to move that it be adopted.
You were doing good, though.
Well, I was trying to follow the rules. I'm a rule follower.
So Pam seconded the motion. Okay.
Okay, roll call, please.
David Drake,
Yes.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Steve Hale,
Yes.
Zach Michael,
Yes.
Pamela Samples,
Yes.
Ryan Skaggs, Pat Wesolowski.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next item on our agenda is the planning department update.
Next meeting scheduled for January 9th after the new year. I thought I'd have some new business, but I may not. Also wanted to thank you for a great year. You worked so hard. You did waivers, a moratorium. You did a pre-preliminary plat approval so a developer could get infrastructure in and while he's designing his lots. Had over 35 cases. I got to add the stormwater to it. So it's been a busy year and I want to thank all of you. I want to thank Darla for her hard work because it has been busy. And so anyway, I just wanted to wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, and thank you all because you're the ones who actually have to do all the work. We just sit up here and talk about it.
So anyway.
Okay, privilege of the floor. Does our esteemed audience wish to comment on anything that wasn't on our agenda? Seeing none, are there any plan commission comments?
Yeah, I got a couple questions. Of course. I'm not gonna let you do your story.
I can't reach him.
In the past, it was brought up that the properties that are not in Ellettsville, like the McDonald's, for example, something was gonna be done with that. That's when the other guy was here. And nothing has been done, and I was listening to the, was it redevelopment maybe, commission the other night, and they're taking and having, what they call when they save so much money, TIF. And they're talking about TIFs. Well, there's a lot of properties between the west side and the east side that's not in Ellettsville. Are we ever gonna take a stand on that, or what?
So you're talking about annexation
Yes.
of McDonald's?
Yep.
We have sent them a letter requesting that, and I know there's been discussions, but so far they've not said yes to do that.
Involuntary annexation is almost impossible now due to changes in the state
Bless you.
law.
See, the property between it, McDonald's and the dog grooming, all right, that's not in Ellettsville either. And that's been sold.
Yes,
There's really no incentive for them.
it will be in Ellettsville in a few months.
I know, yeah.
So what, Dave?
I said there's really no incentive anymore because they pretty much get everything for free already.
That's all I have. My pet peeve has been that way forever, and it just bothers me that when we talk about Ellettsville, we're only talking hop, skip, and a jump about it. And that just bothers me.
And of course, that's one reason why we have to, why Elso has been so big on annexing west, because that's all voluntary annexation, which we can do, but involuntary is, as I said, almost impossible nowadays.
Is Westbrook Downs, is it annexed in or?
No.
No. There's discussions that have come up recently about that, but not from any of those people, so.
When I first got on the council, was when they tried to annex Westbrook Downs and they fought it. And then I got a big kick out of the fact that that winter, someone that lived in there was calling and complaining because the town didn't plow their streets. And I just laughed. I said, well, you don't want to be a part of Ellettsville, so too bad.
Where is it, county?
Yeah.
Huh?
Edna County.
Yeah.
Okay, any other plan commission comments? We're adjourned.